Hello, good afternoon. Welcome. Thank you all for being here. I'm Kristen Dombrowski, the Executive Director for the Northwest region of Canine Companions. I'm very excited to celebrate with you all today. Today is the culmination of 2 years of love and hard work from an entire community, and there are many people to thank for making this day come to fruition. I'd like to express gratitude for everyone who's played an important role in ensuring these incredible dogs are prepared for their careers and perfectly matched. Thank you to our national and regional board members. Thank you to our dedicated puppy raisers who take our puppies at 8 weeks and raise them until they're 18 months old and ready for professional training. Thank you to our incredible volunteers, our staff, and donors who make this work possible. We have a lot of people behind the scenes that care deeply about our mission and our clients. So including our wonderful kennel staff, our veterinarian and research teams, philanthropy, facilities, and administrative staff, Shannon, our loving caretaker, and and all of our volunteers who make lunch for our teams throughout the weeks. And I want to say a big thank you to our trainers, Bella and Kaylee, and I believe Ken, for training our teams the last 2 weeks. So today we celebrate our hearing dogs and veteran teams. Our hearing dogs are extremely intelligent and hardworking. They can alert their partner to key sounds, such as a morning alarm, a smoke detector, a cell phone, or a knock at the door, to help keep their owners safe and aware. These dogs will provide their partners with additional confidence and a feeling of greater security. Dogs that are paired with our veterans are trained to meet the specific needs of their human partners. They can apply deep pressure, nudge a hand to interrupt nightmares, or distract from anxious thoughts. These dogs are truly amazing, and we can't wait to see how these new teams thrive together. To those of you graduating today, welcome to the Canine Companions family. We're ready to help and support you along your journey. Congratulations. And now please enjoy a short video that shows our team training experience.
Good boy, good boy. What? Good boy. That's my boy. Yes, what is it? What? What? Yes, good girl. Thank you. What? Good boy, good boy.
Get. Sit. Give. Yes. Sit.
Yes, good.
Next. Do it. Sit.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Bella, and I'm an instructor for the Northwest region for Canine Companions, and I've had the pleasure of training dogs to assist veterans for nearly 2 years. For those of you who know, Canine Companions upholds the core values of teamwork, compassionate service, integrity, community, excellence, and innovation. Similarly, veterans all adhere to the same principles, which includes commitment, integrity, accountability, loyalty, and service before self. Teamwork. The veterans I've spent time with have shown fellowship towards one another and their peers. They show up for the goodwill of their classmates during team training by supporting one another, and most importantly, they strive to be excellent handlers and build a lasting bond with their service dogs through cooperation and hard work. Compassionate service. The veterans I have spent time with are working over overcoming difficulties in their lives. They are also people who care about others going through similar situations. Integrity. The veterans I have spent time with remain true to themselves while they uphold the values of honesty, morality, and consistency in actions and decisions. Community. The veterans I've spent time with are actively involved in peer support and participate in community events that support not only themselves, but others in a similar situation. Excellence. The veterans I have spent time with have gone above and beyond to be fully present and authentic each day in class. Their willingness to be vulnerable in a new environment and with new people speaks to their excellence of their character. Additionally, this is seen translated when they work with their service dogs. Innovation. The veterans I've spent time with are already thinking of ways they can support their fellow veterans by educating them on a life-changing services that a service dog can provide. For the past 2 weeks, I have had the opportunity to work with both Dustin and Phil. These two graduates have been a pleasure to have in class. Each day they come to class ready to learn as we covered an immense amount of information and shared their great sense of humors, making me laugh every single day. I'd now like to take that time to introduce you to those graduates. Throughout class, Phil has been a very thoughtful and has shared insightful stories and has asked excellent questions. Stearman has a high work drive and tends to offer an abundance of behavior, but underneath that work drive is a soft and sweet dog who just wants to be close to her person. Stearman's presence alone will be an enormous sense of security in Phil's day-to-day life. Stearman will join Phil while out in public and help by interrupting early signs of anxiety and will help keep him grounded when things start to unwind. I'd like to invite Phil up front with me, please. Phil has been matched with a female Labrador Retriever named Stearman. Amanda Silver and Sean Minter of Seattle, Washington are here to present Stearman. She was their fourth puppy. She was Amanda's fourth puppy she has raised and Sean's second puppy he has raised. Congratulations, service team Phil and Stearman. All right, now let's talk about Dustin. Dustin came to class each day with a positive and eager attitude, ready to take on all the information I'd throw his way. On some days, he was so enthusiastic, he would have Stewie perform a cue that I hadn't even introduced yet, because he was so on top of his studies. That's my nice way of saying that he's an overachiever. By the end of class, it was amazing to see how in tune Stewie has become in Dustin's needs. Stewie will perform the behind cue, which will help create space and alleviate feelings of anxiety when approached by people in public. Stewie will always have Dustin's back. Dustin, will you please join me up front? Dustin has been matched with a male yellow lab golden cross named Stewie. Floran Fonte Musco and Gary Musco of Petaluma, California are here to present Stewie. He was their sixth puppy they have raised. Congratulations, service team Dustin and Stewie. I'd now like to invite Kaylee Latimer to introduce the next group of graduates.
Good afternoon, everyone. As Bella mentioned, my name is Kaylee, and I am a newly titled hearing dog instructor, and I had the distinct pleasure of introducing the students graduating with hearing dogs today. Ken Reed is unable to be here for graduation, but let me know I'm an adequate stand-in, but I can never replace his 30 years of experience and knowledge. Anyone who knows Ken knows he would never say this, but he's not here, so I'm going to say what I want. Anywho, Ken and I spent the last 2 weeks lecturing about dog care, teaching new concepts, adjusting leash lengths, introducing new sounds, repeating key notions to stress their importance, and overall molding these 4 students into dog trainers themselves. These students quickly realized why team training is 2 weeks long, because there's a massive number of essential skills for them to learn and practice before we send them home to do it on their own. With perseverance, everyone made it through and is ready for the next step, being a Canine Companions service dog graduate. Ken and I are so proud of how far each student has come. So without further ado, let's meet our graduating students. First, I'd like to introduce Glenn. Glenn was our only successor in the group, and he came all the way from San Angelo, Texas, to get his second hearing dog. Glenn joined every class with a smile on his face, ready to crack a joke or provide insight from his experience with his previous hearing dog. Glenn first went through team training 10 years ago when he was matched with Melody II. Melody retired last year and is ready for the next generation to take over her duties. Let me tell you, Nadine is up for the job. She is quick to learn, persistent with her alerts, and enthusiastic as she throws herself against the door when asked what for a doorbell sound. Nadine even alerted Glenn to his phone ringing before we had practiced it in class. She was always ready to show off. Glenn, will you join me up front? Glenn is partnered with Nadine VII, a black female lab golden cross. Presenting Nadine today are her puppy raisers Kathy and Avery Schoonmaker of Folsom, California. Nadine was the 3rd puppy they raised. Congratulations, Glenn and Nadine. Next, I'd like to introduce Barbara. I heard from many people before team training even started about how excited she was to come to class. Puppy raisers to our very own CEO told me about Barbara before she even set foot on campus for team training. Barbara is from the greater Seattle area, but that's not the reason why we matched her with our hearing dog, Seattle. When working with different dogs the first 2 days, Barbara was getting confused when dogs would offer lots of behaviors as they tried to figure out what was the right thing. When Barbara worked with Seattle, everything clicked into place as he would wait for her verbal cue or the sound before following through with the needed action. He gave Barbara the time she needed to process the activity and would make the correct decision for the follow-through behavior. Ken and I were so pleased to see Seattle support Barbara through her learning and see Barbara give him sincere praise in return. They truly blossomed into a wonderful team these past 2 weeks. Barbara, will you join me up front? Barbara is paired with Seattle III, a yellow male lab golden cross. Presenting Seattle today are his puppy raisers, the Auten family of Kenmore, California, also in the greater Seattle area. Seattle was the 4th puppy that they raised. Congratulations to Barbara and Seattle. Next, I'll introduce Mary, or Mary P, as we called her, since we had 2 Marys in class. No, it wasn't confusing at all. Mary came to class enthusiastic about getting a hearing dog, something she had dreamed about since grade school. During the first 2 days, Mary would talk to each dog when working on Let's Go's with distractions, narrating the entire activity. Once she was matched with Orchid, her sincere praise and feedback never stopped, and Orchid loves every minute of it. Ken and I would often hear Mary in the kitchen telling Orchid how she was going to refill her coffee before heading back to class, or telling Orchid how smart she is. Orchid will help Mary feel more confident with driving by alerting her to sirens and help her sleep soundly, knowing Orchid will alert her to our morning alarm. Mary, will you join me? Mary is matched with Orchid IV, a female yellow lab golden cross. Presenting Orchid today are her puppy raisers George and Denise Landon of Hesperia, California, and Orchid was their first puppy they raised. Congratulations to Mary and Orchid. Finally, I'd like to introduce Mary M., our other Mary. Mary and her mom, Michelle, joined class ready to learn. Since Mary is a recent graduate student, she would take feedback and implement it quickly, catching on to the training sequence right away. Mary is a serious worker, focused on the task at hand, and not easily distracted. The very same can be said of Sophie, her new hearing dog. When doing practices, Mary soon learned that Sophie would prefer not to be pet as praise when working. Instead, Sophie prefers verbal feedback and to keep the pets and cuddling for breaks and release time. Mary and Sophie are one of the same when it comes to their dedication to learning and working. Mary, would you join me? Mary is partnered with Sophie VII, a black female lab golden cross. Sophie was raised by Jean and Mike Smith of Great Falls, Montana, and Olivia Strauss of Salt Lake City, Utah. Sophie was the second dog for Jean and Mike, and the number 3 for Olivia. Presenting Sophie today are 2 of her puppy raisers, Jean and Mike. Okay. Congratulations to Mary and Sophie. Let's give one more round of applause to all of our students graduating today. Next, I'd like to invite Connie Van Squijk for a special presentation.
Hello, everybody. I am Connie Van Squijk. I'm a volunteer breeder caretaker for Canine Companions, and I'm also an Army veteran. I'm honored to be with you here today. Canine Companions has a long history of honoring our military members and veterans by placing them with expertly trained service dogs free of charge since their founding in 1975. We always give veterans challenge coins to those clients, and today I am honored to present a challenge coin to 3 of our clients. Glenn served in the Navy, Philip served in the Army, and Dustin also served in the Army. Thank you for your service, and could Dustin and Philip and Glenn please come up front?
Next, Mary M. will give a little more insight into her experience.
Hi, I'm Mary Mossberg, and I'm so happy to be here today. My journey has been a long one. My parents found out I was hard of hearing when I was 3 years old. We don't know for sure if I was born with it or if it was due to a fall that I took when I was 2.5, which knocked out my front teeth. Interestingly enough, I also found out about 5 years ago that I have an enlarged vestibular aqueduct. With this condition, I basically should have been a bubble-wrapped child. Head trauma with this condition has been known to cause profound hearing loss. I am so happy that my parents did not know about this while I was growing up. My life would have been weird, to say the least. Instead, my parents had me playing softball, soccer, basketball, and while I was young. Then, they always told me that I could do and be anything I want, and they treated me like I was normal. My favorite sport is basketball, and I played until I started high school. At that point, I had to choose between basketball and marching band. You see, I also play the tenor saxophone. The reason I chose tenor sax is because I could actually feel the vibration of the notes as I was playing. I ultimately chose marching band and played through high school and college. In fact, it was very important to me that the college I attend have a really good marching band and director, as well as a great chemistry program. You see, music was the only place that I felt normal. It was loud enough that I could hear it. I've always had to work harder than others to learn. I never received any hearing assistance in school in California because they told me I wasn't deaf enough. The ironic thing about this is that I was in the high school where all the hard of hearing kids were sent. I can't even imagine how many others were denied the assistance they needed because they weren't deaf enough. My academic advisor in high school even told me the only way I could get hearing assistance was to fail my senior year. There was no way I was going to let that happen and ruin my chances of getting into my chosen college. I just thought headaches at the end of every day were normal until I took a sign language class. The ASL instructor explained the reason that I was getting headaches was because I was struggling to read my teacher's lips. I would come home at night and my dad would have to teach me all the lessons that I missed during that day just so that I could do my homework. I finally got the assistance I needed in college. Getting captioning and note-taking changed my educational world. My second year of college, I began living alone. I had a cat that used to alert me when someone knocked on the door. If it was someone she knew, she would just stay by me, but if it was a stranger, she would run away and hide. She was my hearing cat. Then she got older, and her hearing wasn't as good. One day, my mom came into my apartment, put away my laundry, did a few other things, and left. I never even knew she was there. That was when I realized I needed to find a solution to this problem. When researching, I quickly found that other hearing programs wouldn't work for me because I lived in an apartment and they required that I had a fenced-in yard. Other programs only offered home dogs, but I wanted a dog I could take with me, and I eventually discovered Canine Companions. My journey with Canine Companions officially began on October 19, 2021. I was so surprised and excited when I got the call to come to team training. In fact, I just found out on Tuesday that my girl Sophie was born on October 20th, 2021, the day after I submitted my application. I truly believe she was meant to be. I didn't know what to expect the first day of team training, but from the first moment I handled Sophie, I knew she was the one. There was just something about her that felt right and made her easier to handle. I felt like I was having to put more effort into the other dogs. I was amazed at how much Sophie already knew and how well she could teach me. I'm still not going to hear the fire alarm at night when my hearing aids are out, but she will. Not hearing important sounds at night is my biggest fear, and that's why I'm here. Even though I still can't hear the sounds, Sophie can, and it is exciting to have my biggest fear fade away. Fire alarms, alarm clocks, timers, sirens, doorbells, and keys dropping, these are all sounds our hearing dogs can alert us to. Sounds that allow us to live a safer, more independent life. My lack of hearing has never defined who I am. It is just a small part of the big picture. I am now a successful chemist with a master's degree in forensic science with the hope and dream of becoming a forensic scientist soon. And now, with Sophie, I can definitely do and be anything I want. I am so grateful for the opportunity I've been given by Canine Companions. The work Ken and Kaylee have done with these dogs is absolutely amazing. Thank you for your patience while training us. I want to thank Shannon for all support throughout my stay here, as well as the volunteers who have provided lunches these past 2 weeks. Thank you to all the awesome puppy raisers who volunteer their time and energy to help shape these puppies. We appreciate the work you have all done for us. In addition, we would all like to thank the breeder caretakers, kennel staff, other trainers, vet staff, donors, volunteers, and the countless others who work behind the scenes to make this possible. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary. Well, with Thanksgiving approaching, I just want to express my deepest gratitude to this community of staff and volunteers and our clients and our dogs. I'm super thankful to be part of this community, and I hope you all feel the same. Congratulations to each team on your graduation. And if you've been viewing from home on live stream, thanks for tuning in. Otherwise, I hope you'll stick around and join us for some cookies and lemonade, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend and Thanksgiving.